Hi, everybody. This is Dan Hollifield. Welcome to The Last Man Standing. We are brought to you partly by the Rising Tide Network and Hallowcon and Aphelion Webzine and a lot of things I can't even remember right this minute because let's just face it, Stupid O'Clock has been a lot of fun tonight, and I'm hoping that Last Man Standing is going to be just as much. Let's bring everybody in here. Here's Josh. Here's Bill. Joe Dog is off camera, and here's John. Here's John.
Hey.
Yeah. And thank y'all for coming in. And I'm hoping we can continue the same kind of energy that we just left, although probably not talking about food. But but these things. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Glad to have you. Let's see. I got Joe Dog added, but he's off screen at the moment. He'll pop in on it in his own free time. So there we go. Will, if we can't go back, where were we? What we going to cover?
Well, I was going to say I'm going to ask Bill. Bill's a Civil War aficionado, I think. Bill, I don't know.
You're in there.
Right.
Bill, I might have to send this to you email. Can you recognize that?
Can't really see it.
Well, sorry. It's that would be my great granddad's. Well, 3 great granddads. 7th Georgia Infantry for the Confederates.
States of America.
Yes, sir. Yep. I'll send that to you, Bill, and let you look at it.
Okay.
And now you know it's coming. So there you go.
When I first started reenacting, I was with the 12th Alabama Infantry and continued to do that off and on for a number of years. And then when I got married, moved to Rockville, Indiana, we decided that nobody had done anything from locally from that Rockville, Terre Haute, Braysville, Indiana area. And so the unit there, which was actually a unit that was very instrumental throughout the Civil War and engaged in a lot of campaigns, was the 14th Indiana Company A Infantry. And so we created it, and it's grew a lot, and we turned around, and it's still going strong today, although I haven't been part of it, one of the founding fathers of it, but haven't been part of it a while. And they got their own Facebook page and Facebook group, and they keep in contact with everybody, whether you're active with them or not.
Well, the only reason I found out about that was I was doing some family history stuff and found out about that. And he was, his name is Solomon Kemp. He was actually born in South Carolina. And he was the one that, I guess let's just say his offspring started our Georgia offspring. That's where all of my kinfolks are from, is Georgia. So
you have my sympathy.
Yes, I might have some kinfolks over there close to you there, Dan.
I wouldn't doubt it at all. As a matter of fact, the last name is fairly familiar. You might not want to know, but
not the governor. Not the governor.
No. I'm thinking about decent people. And speaking of Civil War reenactments, back when my wife Lindsay was a private care nurse, she took care of the organizer of the Civil War reenactment in Socorro, New Mexico, because there was one of the last major battles there, and he was a really big wheel, former well, I don't want to say rocket scientist, but he was a mathematician as a profession, but he was really big into that, and I do believe the former hotel that Lindsay was living in when it was an apartment complex, the Valverde, had something to do with, or was actually built before the Civil War, long before, and was standing at the time. So I got some insight into the reenactment community out there as to the reenactment community here. And it's amazing that there are that many similarities, but then it was the same war, so you kind of think that will go. So
I've traced most of all of my ancestry back to Austria. So Austria and Germany, and they spread it. Well, they spelt it Kampf. Believe it or not.
Oh, I'm giving up, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll segue into something else.
Yeah, let's go.
No, I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done.
Hey, it's late for you, Joe Dog.
Yeah, and I gotta be in Dalton, Georgia by about noon tomorrow if I want anything from Wendy's.
Hey, Keisha.
Come on down to Tuscaloosa. I'll cook for you.
You get it yourself this time, Joe.
I know. I won't do you that way again. No way I'm going to send you to sit in a drive-through line for an hour and a half.
Dan, we need to get Keisha in here. She's a Civil War reenactor, her and her family. It's
good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, Joe.
And speaking of Keisha.
Yep.
Hello, Keisha.
And as far as for John B. Packer, what in the world are we doing up? We just started this show. Where you been, boy?
Yep.
Is there a comic show on somewhere? Send you a link. Keisha, you're not on my... Well, let me look. I can try something here. But y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to be kind of...
on the side there for a minute.
I will be in Messenger. So
yeah, she's a friend of mine on there. You can check my list and find her.
Oh, she's definitely on mine. I don't leave any pretty girls off of my friends list. Leave me.
Well, Chris,
she's one of the most charming ladies I know. So there you go, Keisha.
Well, Chris, is nice to meet you tonight, there, bud.
Yes, it's nice to meet you, Josh.
Chris is definitely a gentleman, and I'm proud to know him myself. Although just through here, I have yet to meet him in person. We'll rectify that at Hallowcon.
We have actually met, but you were engrossed in conversations with others around your court, shall we say, at LibertyCon.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't exactly say that I would hold forth in court. I might be the jester, but I don't think I got my own court.
Well, there was a certain circle around there, so but yeah.
Hello, Keisha.
Hello, how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing right. Welcome.
Good.
We're doing better for your presence, dear.
Yeah, this is going to go to about 2:00.
I did that last night. I was at a benefit for my best friend, and I don't know if I can pull 2 all-nighters. I don't have it in me. I'm getting old.
Well,
surely not.
I tried to go to bed.
Notice that everyone on this StreamYard thing has gray hair except you. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, blonde is close to gray, so.
See, I'm gonna be a gentleman and not ask how old you are, but I bet you're younger.
I'm 30.
Yeah, I was about to say you're younger than me.
Yeah,
30
I turned 30 last month.
thir-
Well, happy belated birthday.
30
Thank you.
37.
See,
And
that's
actually, I have grandchildren older than you, dear.
Which me?
Both of you.
oh wow. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, sure, Josh. He said deer and meant you when Keisha's out here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't discount it. Everybody's a grandchild. That's all I got. That's my point of view at this age. So my oldest daughter is she will be 51 this year in a couple of months. Well, no, next month. And my next oldest daughter is 36. And my oldest son is just a couple of months younger. I've got one grandson that served 2 tours of duty in Desert Storm. He'll be in his early 30s now.
So you're saying you're still young?
Oh, I'm only what, 250,000 years or thereabouts.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
25. Yeah.
No, I'll turn 64 this year. So I'm looking forward to that party, and don't know where it'll probably be at Hallowcon because it's the closest thing. I'll be going home just 2 days before my birthday, so meet me in the bar. Joe Dog will be buying the drinks.
I'll be there. I'll be there the whole time.
All right, now that I've thoroughly derailed any conversations that were going on beforehand.
I believe somebody mentioned something about Civil War reenacting.
There you go.
There we go. Yep, that was what I thoroughly derailed. So let's go back to that. And you are a Civil War reenactor as well, Keisha?
Yes.
Oh, good. So tell us about that.
So I married into it.
Okay.
Actually, the first time I met my husband's parents, he was like, please don't tell her anything about Civil War reenacting, because they were into it. They actually did it every weekend. And my husband was like, he told his dad, do not tell her anything. Like, I don't want to scare her away. And of course, his dad did the opposite of that. And was like, hey, we do Civil War reenacting. So I've only been doing it about 11 years now. But it's fun. We haven't been too into it lately just because, well, Dan knows, and I think Bill, you probably know, my husband got into a car accident last year, and then I just had surgery, so we've been kind of out of the loop. But
both of you need time to heal.
Yeah. So the last big event that we did was the Battle of Fort Sumter, the 150th, and I think that was probably like 8 years ago now. I don't even remember how many years ago it was.
Plus, you have all those chickens to take care of.
Yeah. The farm does kind of take, a little bit of effort. But thankfully, I have a lot of good friends that really like my chickens and ducks. So, and my bunnies. So, they're like, oh, you're going out of town for a week. We'll come take care of the animals for you. So it hasn't been too difficult.
That's always a good thing, actually, having somebody volunteer to take care of the animals while you're gone. Yeah.
I still pay them, even though they tell me not to, but I live a half an hour to an hour away from anybody that I know just because I live out in the middle of nowhere. So they have to drive that far every day to take care of the animals while I'm gone. So
I know how that is. My closest neighbors are cows and sheep.
It's beautiful, though. Like, I would rather have cows and sheep than people. No
Unfortunately,
offense,
there are still
guys.
people around here, but I'm not as far out in the sticks as I might like. Now, my wife was on the phone to her youngest daughter today out in New Mexico, and they live about 5 miles from the nearest paved road.
Mm.
So they
Yeah,
are
I'm not
very
that far out
out
there.
in the sticks. Yeah, I joke about not being able to get the Saturday Night Grand Ole Opry till Thursday afternoon. They don't get it till a month later.
We don't even have cable out here.
I'm not talking about cable. I'm talking about radio.
Oh, yeah. It depends on what part of the house you're in.
Oh.
I have internet, but no cell phone service.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They
the joys of living out in the middle of nowhere.
They have very, very spotty cell phone service, but they do have a semi-reliable internet. And I don't know if it's cable or if it's satellite. I really don't. They've been there for a while, so they may have upgraded a time or two.
I have a cable. Spectrum decided to take over down here, so yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret here. I have a little bit of service for my phone in certain parts of the house. So if I don't like who I'm talking to, I just go to this part of my house that I don't get areas. And then I'm like, I can't hear you. And then I hang up.
That's called being clever.
Yeah.
Really.
That's what it is. Hopefully nobody I know is actually watching this, because I do that to like everybody.
Hey, Dan.
You just sent me a photo, but I haven't seen.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if you put that up in the show, that's our 14th Indiana Company A Infantry.
Well,
probably at its most people that we had.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure how.
Dan, I'm glad you said that I had gray hair. I just want to say that.
I didn't say you had gray hair. John said everybody had gray hair.
You said everybody but her.
Yeah.
That meant me.
You're getting old. You forgot who said it.
Oh, I know I got it. I was just messing.
Guys, I probably have a gray hair in there somewhere.
Oh, I got. I got
one.
Shit. Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
My hair ain't gray. It's white.
Yeah, I was about to say mine's white.
That's the second step, I think. It goes gray and then white.
Yeah. And then you dye it blue and you start going to old folks' homes.
Please don't do that.
But I was about to say, Dan, the more I shave, it just gets white.
Every time I get my hair cut, there's more gray than brown than the surviving brown. Let me tell you. Every time I shave, every time I cut my hair, I'm afraid to go without a beard anymore, because people will see how much how many double chins I've got.
I have to shave my beard like every day.
Bum.
No, so right as you were saying that, I'm looking for pictures from Civil War reenacting, and I don't know if that popped up. So, if you guys wanted to know what I look like with a stash.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh me.
Got milk?
Yeah.
Well, I thought of a milk mustache to begin with, but I'm like, no, that's too full to be a milk mustache.
Well, my son decided to get it out of one of those little crank machines. And he was like, you have to wear it all day. And so I did. We went to every store and I wore that thing. So
I really do not know what this is about. And if it's Mr. Pica picking on you, Keisha, let me know. But
Oh, no. So it's not him picking.
it's not. Okay.
We have something kind of in the works. I don't know how much I'm supposed to disclose of it yet. But you know, the show that Willow is going to be doing,
Yeah.
I might be co-hosting with her.
Oh.
So, I think that's kind of what he's referring to.
That would be what is it? Was it Cryptid Crunch?
Yes.
Okay, glad I remembered that because I have been trying to keep up, but everybody's got like 3 different shows now. So
Now I want
actually,
some
right
Captain
before I
Crunch.
got on here, I just did my show over on my channel. So,
I'm sorry, but I'll have to watch it in the reruns.
That's okay. I just did not have the energy to do anything this week. So I figured since I did have the energy, I would do it now. So
Hey, it gets exhausting,
It works.
don't it? It gets exhausting.
Well, since the since my surgery on the 1st, I was on very heavy medication. And I've only been off of it for the last couple days. And so I'm in a really big fog. And I haven't eaten actual food in over a month.
Wow.
And it's very hard for me to drink water because it physically hurts. So, like, I've been super dehydrated and not really there half the time.
I understand that.
All of that sounds wonderful, doesn't it, guys?
Walk around with an IV in your arm.
Actually, when I go to the doctor for my checkup on the 30th, I'm almost positive they're going to, according to Google, I should be dead already. Because it says to sustain life, you need at least 32 ounces a day. And I've been averaging 6 to 8.
Well,
You're in a holding pattern.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not dead yet. So
Obviously. But you expect the doctor to give you an IV and a saline drip as soon as you get there?
I know they will, just because I haven't been able to drink water. So they're probably going to try to take my blood like they did last time and go, wow, you're a little dehydrated, aren't you? And then they're going to be like, you know what that means? And I'm going to be like, no. So.
Yeah, they try and take your blood and powder comes out.
Yeah.
Yes. That's an accurate statement.
I was going to say they might put a... Don't want to say this, but...
no, you don't. I know what you're going to say. No, you don't.
Well, I ain't going to... Well, what you're thinking, I ain't going to say it.
Oh, I did end up finding... That's our... Oh, let's see.
I was going to say a pick line.
No, it's Canon.
That's our old Canon. But that's my unit, PBA light artillery is what we are. So we carry, we have a mountain howitzer that we carry around and shoot off. And then more guns than probably the Army.
Cool.
But not as many as my family.
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't met my family, believe me. We could outfit a battalion just between the 6 of us.
My family's a bunch of rednecks and reenactors, so...
I resemble that remark.
I mean...
You're talking with several people from the South, Jared.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
So
I grew up in East
lived in
Tennessee and Appalachia and in Northeast Georgia. I mean, firearms.
If
you don't have 15 or 20, you're not trying hard enough.
I lived in the South most of my life, actually, and then Illinois just ruined me completely. If I were to play a clip of how I used to sound to you guys, you wouldn't think it was me. Oh, wow. Nice.
You talking to somebody from
Yeah,
Alabama?
ignore the car in the background.
You talking to somebody who lives in Alabama, so come on.
Yeah, Bill, that photo you sent me, I can't figure out how to share it. I really can't.
Yeah, I sent it to John too, but it's the one that I just showed you, so no biggie.
Okay. I wish I knew how to do that, but I don't. I'm not very proficient with this program.
I'm going to have to go. Keisha, it was nice meeting you. Josh, it was nice meeting you. If you get a chance, we've discussed Dollar General earlier and how prolific they are. I posted a video to Stupid O'Clock. I think you'd get a kick out of it if you get a chance to see it.
Oh, I missed something, didn't I?
Well,
yeah, Chris, I couldn't be on there last night. I had my stepmother. Her O2 level dropped last night. She's got cancer, and they changed some of her medicine and stuff. I couldn't be on
that
there.
is perfectly understandable. You
Hey,
need to take
yeah.
care of your family. They come
Definitely.
first. This show's just something that if you get a chance to,
This is
great.
just
If
folks
not,
having fun when they got time to.
yeah,
And more important things are more important.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
So again, it was nice meeting you, Keisha and Josh.
It was nice meeting you, Chris.
And I got a busy day ahead of me tomorrow, so I will wish y'all a good night and look forward to seeing y'all again sometime soon.
Yeah,
Take care.
See you, Chris.
a Hallowcon meeting tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we got a staff meeting. Got a lot of stuff to go over. So,
Oh.
any of y'all coming to Hallowcon, I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be there.
Plan on it.
It would be nice.
I am looking forward to getting my room reservation at work next week because they only accept phone calls from 8 to 4, and I don't get home early enough to be able to do it from the house. But I've got my badge. I've got there was something else. I've got the map. I've got it in my GPS, so I've got a way to get there. So
since you mentioned the rooms are $69 a night, king or double, and most of the rooms have been renovated. They have luxury vinyl tile on the floor, updated bedding and fixtures, and you'll be pleased for what you get for $69 a night.
Y'all can put me outside.
Is there a pool?
There is a pool, but they usually close it because it usually turns cool the Saturday night of Hallowcon. And,
you're talking about Halloween weekend. So,
and it does tend to rain at least one night.
No, we'll go to John's house on some scooters.
But again, any of y'all that come, I look forward to seeing y'all there. And like I said, if you need more information, just message me or Joe Dog, and we'll be happy to send you the right links and everything. Again, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
Yep, I'm planning to be there. This will be the first time for me. Joe Dog's been after me for years to come to Hallowcon. Lindsay will have to stay home because we have a rather elderly dog that we are afraid to board anymore because we don't want to come home from a convention and find out that the worst has happened while we were absent.
Well, see, that I was just about to say, we have an elderly dog that is blind, but I have a great neighbor I dog sit for him, and he'll dog sit for me. So,
well, I have looked at the rooms in the webpage photos, so it looks pretty deluxe for an econo lodge. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I've been in worse places.
Yeah, I was about to say rooms look great. I mean, great for a econo lodge.
Hey, they look great for anything. I've been in places with a really big name that had worse looking rooms than that. So this promises to be a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to be part of it.
I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could go.
Well, plan on next year because it always happens.
Well, my daughter's birthday is November 1st.
Mine's on the 3rd.
And so we end up having a big celebration for her every year. It's a Halloween party / birthday party. And
that sounds delightful.
it is. I make brain cupcakes and pretty much everything else creepy because my daughter is broken like me and she likes creepy things. She may only be 3, but I already broke her.
Well, see, you could bring her over there and get her into.
Oh yeah, she would
Hallowcon.
probably love it. Where is it at?
Dalton, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a drive for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
for us Illinois people.
Yeah, really, it's 3 hours for me, and that's the most direct route I can find.
Well, I was about to say I don't even know how far it is from me, to be honest. Well, it ain't that far from Chattanooga, so
20 minutes out from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Well,
If
2 hours, basically.
If you head east towards Clayton and then go north, you can pretty much get there.
Right. John, which way would it be quicker to go through Chattanooga or?
Chattanooga's a bit north.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Birmingham. Just say
that. I think. I have to look at a map, but I think you got to come through Chattanooga.
Yeah, 2059.
59 will put you through 24, and 24 puts you on 75 and 75.
Drop back down.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't aware of that. I would have thought it would have been quicker to go from Birmingham to Atlanta and then up 75.
It's the South. It's like if you die and go to heaven, you got to go through Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, I try and plot every time I've got to go to Chattanooga or anywhere else to avoid Atlanta. So I wind up in some picturesque country.
That's always nice, though.
I don't have to get on 285.
Because there aren't any road signs.
That's right. I'm lucky they got roads, but that doesn't matter with my van. I don't need road. No.
It's always fun going beanfield, cornfield, beanfield, cornfield.
Yeah, it's better than going traffic jam to traffic jam to traffic jam to
yes.
traffic jam.
Look,
when my family actually goes anywhere, we pick the scenic route because my husband hates the city as much as I do. So we actually were like, oh, it only takes another hour to avoid heavy or high traffic roads. We always take those. So.
Well, I looked at the GPS today and I plotted the routes, and it's like 17 minutes longer than going through Atlanta. And I'm going 17 minutes, and I don't have to go on 285. Sold American.
Right?
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I used to go to Atlanta on my motorcycle and go through 285, risking my life every instant of the way, and I had fun.
Yeah.
And driving the car, it's a little bit less fun, but you got more armor wrapped around you, and if somebody hits you, you won't instantly die like you would on a motorcycle, but it's still very frightening because the traffic in Atlanta has only gotten worse since 1970, whatever, when I first started driving.
Awful. And people there are mean.
They're not mean. They're just indifferent.
Oh, no. So when I lived down that way, me and my cousin and 2 of our friends were walking down the street and people were throwing beer bottles at us. One actually hit it. One was what do they call them? A 40. And one actually hit my friend Marshall in the head.
Oh.
And knocked him out for a good couple minutes. And he, it was not good.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. So, but we still took our daily walks because, health and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
that
we had quite a few people do that.
Well, I'd rather go off through the outer boonies to the inner boonies than get on to the metro. So, oh, I just read an article today that there is supposed to be a high-speed rail plan from someplace in North Carolina to Atlanta, with another line going from Atlanta to Chattanooga.
They've been talking about one going from Atlanta to Chattanooga for like 20 years.
Well, apparently
the only reason
they have everything but the budget now.
The only reason they want it is so that they can run a water line with it and pump water from the Tennessee River down to Atlanta. And that's what kills it every time. Chattanooga's water company is privately owned.
Oh, and they're not going to put up with
they're not going to put up
with Atlanta stealing water.
And all the politicians here are trying to take over Chattanooga's water company, take it out of private hands,
mm-hmm.
and make it part of Chattanooga, so that they can line a bunch of pockets with money after they start selling water to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
everything's about money, though.
Of course.
There's not any pocket of politicians that couldn't be improved by a judicious use of a guillotine.
Every time, it's kind of funny. Every time a new regime takes over in Chattanooga, once they get established, the next thing you'll hear about is we need to what's the word? It's not privatize, but it's where it's the exact opposite of privatize. I can't think of the word for it.
Public. I don't know. My brain's making a.
Heck, I got a computer right here. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, really?
Is the opposite of private or privatization? There we go. Nationalization, nationalizing, taking over.
Municipality.
That's where I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Municipalizing.
Uh-huh.
Making public.
Good old Google.
They keep wanting to municipalize the water company.
Mm-hmm.
And the water company says,
that kind of language on this show.
Yeah, my virgin ears and shit.
Hey, one of my great grandmothers was Sicilian. I'm allowed to do that.
Hey, if you can't talk with your hands,
if you don't
talk.
like it, it's racialization profiling. Okay.
Everything's profiling and racializing these days, unfortunately.
I got in so much trouble at school one time because I saw my great grandmother do that. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world at the time.
Yeah, I used to.
But apparently, I was going to school in Biloxi, Mississippi, and my 4th grade black teacher did not appreciate that. So, well.
I bite my thumb at thee.
Yeah.
Actually, that goes back to the Middle Ages, don't it?
I did bite my thumb, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, heavens.
Did you bite your thumb at me? I did bite my thumb, sir.
There are so many things just like that they do have their modern equivalents that are, shall we say, less poetic.
It's like, how is it that some words are considered profanity? Which doesn't make sense because they're perfectly acceptable words. It's just that for some reason in the human brain, we've decided that you should not say that.
Well, see, if somebody tells you something's wrong enough, even if it's completely asinine, like just a word, other people start leeching onto it and they're like, oh, that's an awful word. And it's like, it's literally like, but ass, that kind of stuff. Like, it's a donkey,
Mhm.
okay? But they
Fag.
corporatized it.
Fag is
a
a stick of
cigarette.
firewood. Firewood.
Yeah,
Oh no!
Mhm.
See, it's
Oh,
also,
it's also a cigarette.
it's
Yeah.
a cigarette.
Any
My
stick that'll
stepdad
burn
was
is a fag.
English,
Yeah.
and he used to go, I'm going to go outside and have a fag. And I'm pretty sure I saw the souls leave several of, like, he actually, my mom is how he got into the country. They married and all that good stuff. And so every time somebody that didn't know where he was from came over, and he'd be like, I'm going to go outside and have a fag, the look on their face was just like, do you know about this? Because
Yeah, I know about
But
it. I
but that
just don't care.
Do you
but
know
but
where
that kind of word is different in the sense of, okay, well, that's just somebody's name for a cigarette or something. But other words right now, there is a political correctness that they are redefining certain words to make them something bad, and that's what.
do you know where the term faggot came from?
Yeah, bundles of
I do know
firewood.
it's a stitch.
It was
It's also a
stick of
stitch.
it was a stick of firewood. And you'd have a whole bundle of them.
Mm,
And there was a time in Europe, and I'm not sure where in Europe, where homosexuality was considered satanic. And you could literally be burned at the
Burned at the
stake for
stake.
being a
Yeah.
homosexual. And they would bring these bundles of faggots in to put the firewood around the stake and burn the person.
And the only
And-
way
You
you
learn
were safe
something new
is
every
with a
day.
member of the royal family. Yeah. Now, according to St. George Carlin, the 7 words that you cannot say on television, and that entire routine, he does point out that there are words that are only part-time dirty words. They have perfectly innocent meanings in some context, but then if you say them in a different context, they wind up being something that you would be censored for saying. So it's like if you're showing a dog on the Tonight Show, Johnny Carson can innocently ask which one is the bitch, but the guest cannot say about another guest, is that bitch going to sing again?
Oh, my favorite Johnny Carson one was where I can't remember who the woman was, but she came out. She had a cat in her lap.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and she looked at Johnny and goes, "Would you like to pet my pussy?" He goes, "Sure. Get the damn cat out of your lap."
Oh,
Needless to say, there was somebody in the control booth going, "Neat, neat, 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 neat."
That's one of the reasons of why they established the 7-second delay on live broadcasts, so they could edit stuff like that out. But
I'm pretty sure nowadays they pretty much don't care, because I've watched some things on. I don't have actual television because we can't get it out here, but I've watched some shows on Netflix and Hulu and all that other stuff, and they're I wouldn't let my kids watch them without me, at least.
If you ever get a chance to watch, I don't know if YouTube still has it, but there was an uncensored version of George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on television. Now that was I have seen the entire show that was a part of, and it's just mind opening, if not groundbreaking. But it's one of those things that does make you think about how we assign alternate meanings to the same words and decide on a whim which ones are innocent and which ones are double entendre.
mm-hmm.
Wow, I've got an extensive vocabulary. Too bad I can't use it for diddly.
You're doing great.
No, but George, in spite of the fact that he became a very angry comic towards the tail end of his life, in the middle years and in the early years, he was all about how language works and why it works that way, and the observational. This could be this, but it's also this, and then you have something that's totally out of left field, and it becomes something different from the first two instances. And there are several other people that have dared to go that way. I do not recommend Andrew Dice Clay's early work to sensitive audiences, but the man could make poetry out of obscenity. And then you have people like Sam Kinison, who was just anger incorporated. Just again, observational, but not trying to be obscene, but just this went this way and it should upset everyone. But no, it doesn't, because there's always this alternate that doesn't mean what that is taken to mean. And there's a whole line of comedians like that. And you notice Don Rickles could get away with anything. I mean, he could be the rudest person ever, and people would just sit there and laugh until they got sick. It was hilarious.
And today they would call him a xenophobe, a homophobe, a racist, everything else.
They would cancel him.
Yeah.
Right now, we're really big on the cancel culture. Literally, if anybody steps out of line the tiniest bit, they're like, oh, no, you can't exist at all anymore. Sorry. You're going to have to go. And then everybody attacks them and forces them out. It's happened to a lot of good comedians lately, actually. And even some like talk show hosts now are getting attacked for things they did like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And trying to get canceled. It's like, you did this one time when you were really young and we know it now. So you're canceled even though you've been great for the last 30 years.
And you notice none of them ever go after Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
what's he done lately, though?
Well, that's the thing. He hasn't done anything lately.
Yeah.
But when he started off, he was pretty much, shall we say, industrial language, like what I normally try and suppress on this kind of show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that kind of will. I mean, you've also got. Help me out, John. What's his name?
Richard Pryor.
Oh, that's another good example. But no, I'm thinking more of Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that man speaks the way that I am used to at work. I mean, seriously, I don't even blink at that. I understand implicitly that is punctuation. And I can even tell you, at one time, I can tell you exactly which word was a comma and which one was an exclamation point and which one was
had his own little language.
And which one was a colon. Yeah, it's all in the language and how it's used, but it's audible punctuation. And there was another a French comedian that did that actually made up sound effects to indicate punctuation, and I think it was Victor Borgia.
Yeah, it was.
And that. Listening to him just read something out and do a sound effect for the comma, the period, the exclamation point, the question mark. It was really educational, because if you're speaking, you don't think about where those things come in except by the inflection in the where you pause for breath. But when you're writing, it's one of those things where you have to know where every punctuation mark goes and which one to use in which place. And if you use the wrong one, God help you, because somebody's going to come down on you. Lord, don't use a semicolon where a colon is supposed to be, or vice versa. And this weird thing called an interrobang, which is where you're asking a question with great emphasis on the end. So it's almost like it was made for sarcasm. And you're going on, and the basic thing would be
like, are you sure?
No, it'd
Kind
be
of
more
question,
like,
or
what the sort of thing. And yeah, well, wait a minute, we're after midnight. What the fuck? It's got
the
a
younger
question mark,
audiences
but
have left.
there's an exclamation mark after the question mark. So that sort of thing. And there's a special symbol for that. I forget what it is, but it's either an upside down exclamation point, or somehow or another you blend a question mark with a exclamation point. I'm not sure that my word processor can do that, but I certainly tend to be able to do it in my spoken vocabulary. But these things, language fascinates me. It really does. So many changes, so many things. There are things that you would think of as being normal now, but Shakespeare invented because the language he was using was inadequate to be able to get his point across. He would make up words. He would make up phrases. He would make up entire almost moods.
And now they're
To be
used as
able to,
everyday
yeah,
language.
yeah. Nowadays, yeah, it's in our lexicon, basically. Not to use too educated a phrase, but it's part of everything that we do now. But at the time, it was totally unheard of and brand new. And you can go back to Canterbury Tales, and there was the same sort of thing going on, but the spelling of the words was a little bit weird. But they kind of got adjusted as time goes by into something that's more familiar with what we be doing now. But there was a thing in Canterbury Tales where somebody was describing a young lady of the party as being attractively thick, and went on to praise some of her other physical attributes. And you go, is this where Sir Mix-a-Lot got that one? Because it was definitely in the same, I had exactly the same meaning. But
I read a book from the 1800s. I like to read old literature. It's like one of my things. And I read a book from, I think it was like around 1815, and it was called Gypsy. And it was written like if you were to write it today. And it fascinates me because when you read that old of literature, you're like expecting, that old English and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written into like if it was today's writing and using words, it ended up not being anything what I thought it was going to be like when I read Gypsy. But I was very surprised as to how many words they used in there that we use today on a regular basis. And it's just fascinating to see that kind of stuff after so long.
Now, if you look back through all the great literature of history, there was always groundbreaking stuff that was new at the time, and now it's either commonplace or it's old hat. even the expression "old hat" is probably old hat, but
Yes.
I am an antique, and so yeah, I've even got the papers to prove it. But gentlemen and lady, I am going to have to run off to the restroom. I will be right back.
Don't forget to turn off your mic. No.
I'm not taking it with me.
Yeah, he always does this.
Yeah, really. I leave it right here, and yes, I turn it off just in case there is some feedback from the earpiece to the microphone that would be unfortunately echoed.
They were having a city council meeting in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets broadcast on cable TV in the area. And one of the council members got up to go to the restroom and had a wireless microphone.
I saw that. Oh,
One of
it
the
was not
early
great.
one of the early episodes of Stupid O'Clock, I was using a Bluetooth headset rather than the wired headset, and I forgot to take it off when I went to the restroom. I hope that recording has been erased, but
It has
knowing
not.
Joe Dog, it has not.
It is not.
It probably hasn't.
It has been saved for
America's Funniest Home Videos.
well, I would say to humiliate me whenever I get too big for my boots. So, yeah. In any case, I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Are you getting tired?
I'm getting very tired. For some reason, the last couple of days, I've just woken up exceptionally early, like 2 a.m.
Oh wow.
And it's one of those, you wake up and you think about it for a minute. You lay back in bed and you're trying to go to sleep. You just suddenly have that realization.
I did that this morning.
I'm awake. It just hits you. I'm awake.
Do you eat supper at 4 o'clock too?
You go from trying to go back to sleep and you're laying there and you toss and turn and trying to get back to sleep. All of a sudden, you just suddenly realize I'm awake. And you get up and start doing stuff. And was it yesterday? I got up, and after I fed all the pets and everything, I went down. I made 3-bean salad. I've never made 3-bean salad before in my life, but for some reason, I just happened to collect all the ingredients and made a 3-bean salad.
Okay, how does one make a 3-bean salad? Because now I'm curious.
3-bean salad. It's green beans, wax beans, which are like a white colored green bean, a little bit different. Kidney beans and garbanzo beans or chickpeas.
That sounds like more than 3.
That's
I know.
4-bean salad.
3-bean salad, but it's got 4 different beans in it. But you put that in there with some onion and some other stuff, and it's apple cider vinegar and some salad oil. And you mix it all up with all the ingredients, and it's just really tasty. You have to let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple of days.
Oh.
And once all the beans,
you're basically like pickling them.
Sort of. It has a kind of pickled taste to it. And I imagine I've seen people put it in pickling jars and can it in the shell. It's strange enough, it's a survival food.
It sounds like it's definitely protein packed.
Exactly. You got your green vegetables, you got your bean, and chickpeas are nothing. They're almost pure protein any darn way. So by the time you get done, and I guess I don't know if you'd actually can it, cook it, can it, or just put it up and let it be pickled. I have to look that up. I didn't put it.
Sometimes people just. Sometimes it's probably both. Because I know people that can things, like I can things, but then I also do like overnight pickles. Do you know what overnight pickles are? Instead of actually canning them, they're also called fridge pickles.
Yeah, fridge pickles. You just overnight.
So like I make a little bit of each, so that might be just
pickled watermelon rind. It's a sweet.
I've never had that.
Really, you need to try it. It's a sweet pickle.
He's
and
back.
take-
We got to stop talking about him.
No,
it's a
I'm not
sweet-
pickled and I'm not
Yeah.
watermelon.
Dan's a
Ryan,
sweet pickle.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were saying
God.
you were pickled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were just
no.
talking about you, Dan. Okay.
Definitely, I'm a firecracker. That pretty much a wet squib. But
Basically, you take the watermelon rind that's left over from eating the watermelon, and you cut the skin off of it, and just have the white and some of the red rind, and you dice it, and you mix it with sweet pickle vinegar. You make a sweet pickle vinegar with cinnamon and allspice and lemon. It's got get some sort of citrus in it, lemon or orange, something like that. Basically, you want the lemon peel. You know, a lot of people just
Surprisingly,
slice
I have all of these ingredients right now.
Look it up. It's it's a sweet pickle and it's tasty. But, yeah.
I'll have to
actually,
check it out once I
I've
can
had
eat
it.
real
It is
food.
it is good. It's a flavor sort of like bread and butter pickles, but not quite.
See, I'm not super into sweet though, so I don't know how I would feel about it. But I'm always willing to try it and see what
Well,
happens.
Things like that, they may be really good in small doses and go, that's enough. I will put it back on the shelf now.
I was stationed in Germany for a while, and I really enjoyed the German embassy, the grill cooking that they had on the street corners. And the thing was, German sauerkraut is different than American sauerkraut. American sauerkraut is real sweet. It's almost like candy compared to the German stuff. So I got tired of eating like Clausen sauerkraut's almost like the German stuff.
Okay.
But everything else is like the candy stuff the Americans eat. So I got in the habit of I started making my own sauerkraut.
Too much sugar in everything.
Well, the thing
I'm
is,
not allowed to have sugar right now, and I am slowly finding that out because I have not been able to eat like 99% of the foods normal people eat because sugar. They don't want any added sugar, and of course they have sugar, sucrose, glucose, glucosamine. Yeah. And it's like, well, so pretty much I'm just going to filter feed for the rest of my life.
Ketchup is mostly syrup. There's more sugar in ketchup than there is tomato.
What about natural sugar, Keisha?
You
said you had to.
I'm allowed to do like a honey. If I do honey for sweetener, I think I'm allowed to do that. But anything else, I'm not 100% on.
Well,
you
you were talking.
Honey is an antibiotic as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's some good stuff.
You were talking, you had all the ingredients to what John was talking about, so I assume you have watermelon, and there's natural sugar in watermelon.
Yeah, so I've been eating natural sugar, but I don't think I'm allowed to have any added sugars. If I wouldn't have any natural sugars, I would starve to death because since I don't eat meat and stuff like that, most of what I eat is fruits and vegetables, and it's hard to find those without some sort of sugar in there.
What you got there, John?
Blackjack.
My favorite chewing gum is the Blackjack chewing gum. And somebody was talking about the difference between Wrigley Spearmint and Juicy Fruit. And they said, which do you like better, Wrigley Spearmint or Juicy Fruit? And I put in Blackjack. And it came up on my feed just now. I was checking my news feed. And this came up. You can get this at Walmart. It's a 10 box of Blackjack chewing gum for $13. And I didn't know you could buy it like that. So
I didn't even know they still made it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want that much licorice chewing gum?
Oh, heck yeah.
Maybe.
Now, what I'd like to get, let me see if I can find it here. I don't know if I
All right, guys. I'm probably going to have to head out. I've got
Yeah.
children that wake me up super early in the morning,
Doesn't
and I'm
everybody?
looking at six hours of sleep right now as it is. So,
Oh, I'm
My
jealous. I
tablet
won't
is
ever
on.
get more than 4.
huh?
I don't ever get more than 4.
I try to keep up with my sleep, but it just doesn't happen. I'll lay in bed for the next 2 hours and go, "Oh, I should have stayed on the show." But I'm trying to be a good sleeper. So,
And my tablet is on 25% charge right now, so I think I'm going to duck out as well. But
we're all leaving you guys.
Yep. It's
Well,
mass
that's all right.
migration.
It's all right. It's all right. There's
yeah,
no ego involved. We don't
you
have to
gotta-
go on till 5 a.m.
got an
I
hour
mean,
and
I
10
would.
minutes
Going on
in
for an
there,
hour and
so,
7
yeah.
minutes. We're doing pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we done really
That
well.
was good.
Keisha, thank you very much. You're welcome back anytime. And Bill,
I always love joining you guys. So,
the new
Glad
headphones
to
sound
have you.
great, and glad
Thank you.
to have you. John, behave
Hi.
yourself.
I saw that coming.
Hey, I could have said something nasty, but I won't because I like him.
That
I
hurt.
saved the nasty stuff for Joe Dog. So,
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
he's so much better at it anyway.
yeah, well, his reaction is like, "Did a butterfly just gnaw my knee off?"
Well,
Thank you, John. I'll take
You're
that
welcome.
as a sign
Okay.
of respect.
I just realized what I wasn't paying attention to his screen, so I looked up and I was like, the audacity.
Audacious. I like that. The audacious John Scarpa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, put that in the description there.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you
Go
can do
for
that.
it.
You can change that. In any case, I want to thank
Yeah,
y'all very much for
we
making this.
actually did that one night where everybody just started changing their names around.
Oh yeah, that was the one where Joe Dog called me Uncle Sleepy.
Uncle Sleepy.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed I missed that.
Oh, it turns out that when I've had a rough day at work, like on a Thursday, and we do a Thursday night show, if I nod off, you cannot play fire alarms or any kind of thing that will wake me up. But
that's a show where I don't know if we recorded it or not. That's a show where
I don't know, but there was a green room, and Bill was there. Anna came in, and I had nodded off, and she goes, "Wake up, Dan!" And I was wide open.
Oh,
Excuse me.
there we go.
All it
There you go.
takes is for a sexy woman to tell me to wake the fuck up, and I do.
You know what? I think I remember us talking about that once, because I said that's how I wake up my husband. Is I'll sit there and alarms could be going off, the house could be on fire, and he would still be asleep. And if I go in there and just go, "Hey babe, it's time to wake up," he's like, "I'm up," and I'm like,
Yep.
It makes zero sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It's a hell of a lot better than the way I used to wake up during school with my dad going into the bedroom, flipping the light and going, "Get up, boy, it's time for breakfast." You try doing that after working an 18-hour day at school and then on the tractor for the rest of the night, and then sleeping about 4 hours.
That sounds like the Cheech and Chong earache my eye sketch.
Exactly. Only
Daddy!
I wasn't trying to get out of it. I was just trying to go, "Oh, I'm alive."
Get up and get your fanny perpendicular to school.
John, I like your name. All right. I think I hear a 3-year-old crying. That's never a good sign.
No, it isn't.
That would be me.
Oh, okay. No, we're good then.
Yeah.
They're either begging for attention or they're up to something.
I don't have my
She
blanket.
should be
Something you
asleep.
wouldn't hear
So
anything.
Yeah.
First
Well,
rule of
y'all have a
children.
good night. I have to boogie.
That's
First
all
rule
right.
of children
And
is to quiet
thanks for
something's
having.
wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Bye, con Dios, everybody.
Thank
Night,
you, Bill.
I'd be to Zane.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keisha.
Yeah, it's always nice coming in and talking to you guys. I
We're
don't have
so-
adult friends.
We're so relaxed. Well, you still don't. I mean, seriously.
I mean, I do. It's just they all live so far away.
Hey, Dan, did we get promoted? Okay.
Oh no,
Yes.
I think she meant adult, as in the X-rated movie sort of friends.
No, not those
Okay,
kind.
wow,
I don't
wow.
need those kind.
Bow chicka wow wow. No, we do kind of exceed the normal memes of the day in order to carry on a conversation. So
It's okay. Well, you guys have a good night, and don't forget to check out my show if you want.
definitely.
I gotta,
definitely.
yeah, I do have to check that
I
out.
try and
Hang on a
catch
minute.
it on
Wait
the
a minute.
rerun.
Before you go, see, where is that? I just saw it a minute ago. Is this the new one or the old? Wait, that's
Oh yeah,
the new
that's
one?
the new one. That's the new one.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. The
I don't
the
think I'm
Rising
on
Tide
here
Network.
yet.
Oh, you're kidding me. I brought it up just because I figured
They
did.
haven't put me on it yet. I'm gonna have
Oh.
to talk to somebody about that.
Are you
Er.
on
I am
Michaela,
the man to talk to. Where are
Michaela
you?
Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles? Is that
No,
the one
that's
you're going to be on?
Michaela.
No.
That's not Keisha.
Oh, no. She said she was going to be on a show with Michaela.
No, I'm going to be on a show with Willow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's
Well,
technically not a part of the Rising Tide.
Mhm.
I mean, me and Willow are both part of the Rising Tide, but I think the show is actually with the oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. What's John's show called? The Back of the Cereal Box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's going to be part of his
Oh yeah.
series.
The cryptid crunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
but my show is actually I did get inducted into the Rising Tide Network, but I have not been added to the playlist yet. So
I will. You PM me everything that you need me to say on it. I made that graphic. I will put you in there.
okay, because right now I've still been doing my weekly show, but it varies times just because I've got kids and life in general. But I know there's a couple other shows that are kind of just whenever it happens.
Yep. Armchair Rocket Science is the best example of that. It's like, oh, there's a launch. We're going to do a show.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I will message you probably in the morning if you don't mind. And
That's fine.
I'll get you all that information. Cause I'm upgrading my equipment slowly. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed the whole headset thing and stuff. So
it works really well because
the headset we noticed. I didn't notice the stuff. No.
Oh, you didn't notice the stuff.
No.
So, but I'm trying to slowly get better stuff in order to kind of just make higher quality, because I am computer illiterate for the most part.
We would not know. Believe me.
You're here. You can't be that illiterate. Right.
If you guys would have asked me to do this a month ago, I would have had no idea how to do it.
Well, just to be fair, the camera looks okay. The sound, you hearing us hearing you is working great. you're doing better than 70% of our other people that have been on the show. So,
Oh, really?
yes.
Well,
Now,
that makes me feel a little better.
okay. Now, it could just be dumb luck, but yeah, I mean,
No, it's not.
plug it. Hey, you plug it, it plays. That's why they call it plug and play. So.
For the last, so me and my son have had a YouTube channel where we play video games together for the last like 3 years probably. And I would record an hour-long video on my phone, and it would take almost 2 days to upload to YouTube. And I could not use my phone while it was updating. And I just realized streaming is a thing, and it automatically uploads for you. So it's kind of been a lifesaver for me.
Well, if you're doing the video game thing, you can use Discord or NVIDIA if you have a GeForce card.
I would not have any idea how to do anything like that.
That's just it. You don't have to do it. Sometimes it just pops up on them. You download their little program thingy, and it, like with NVIDIA, it's GeForce Experience, and that's the thing where you get all your updates on your video card. With Discord, it's just a simple program for talking. It's kind of like this, and they do actually have video where you can do stuff like this, but it's more chat and communication.
Yeah, I did do Discord a couple years ago because I ran an online D&D campaign. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to know what I do in my free time, but I did run.
Wait one.
Oh no.
You say that like we're supposed to think less of you. I mean, why do you think I've started writing? I used to play D&D. I used to DM, and I got tired of the characters not following the script. And I had a perfectly good script. So, he's got the old school.
All my stuff is upstairs, or else I'd show it off too.
Oh, well, none of us are Nick Talkert. We don't need to be whipping out our swords and showing them to each other.
I can do that.
I do have a sword over in the corner. So, I mean, everybody should have a sword in their living room. And a mace.
Or right at the top of the stairs. Just you hear somebody downstairs, first thing you do, reach up there, grab the sword, and scream down the stairwell. We will thank Odin for the sacrifice that he has provided us.
So when I used to live with roommates, and they were all guys, and I used to keep a mace, an actual mace that I bought because everybody should have a mace, by the front door, and they're like, "What's that?" I said, "The alarm system, because the second I hit somebody with it, you'll definitely hear them scream."
Really?
So, I did actually end up stabbing someone with it once. They were in my house. They weren't supposed to be. I did not know it was one of my roommate's friends. But how was I supposed to know, right?
Okay. Keywords here. One of my roommates' friends. Okay.
Now,
he probably deserved it.
I'm not responsible for how well the dog ate for the next 6 months.
He was still alive afterwards, guys. Yes. Who's doing the commentary?
Oh, this is Nick Talkert.
Of course it is. Hi, Nick.
Yep. And basically we have one viewer, and he's heavily armed. So, and knows how to use it. If you've ever read the end credits for this show, you know exactly how important Nick Talkert is. So
I've only seen part of the end credits. I think it was the last show I came to because I stayed until it was ending.
No, actually, there's a part in the end credits where I say, I'm not going to sit up all night and tell y'all a story. And it scrolls on up, and I go, okay, here goes. And there goes the story. And it's one, and the scrolling speeds up. So you've really got to be paying attention. Otherwise, I should have done it with the Star Wars crawl, but I didn't know how to do that.
So I actually have a video with the Star Wars crawl.
I don't think I could rewrite it to mine.
Make my own Star Wars crawl, and guess what? There's like 5 or 6 different programs you can get for making your own Star Wars crawl.
And I don't know how many of those are compatible with Windows Movie Maker.
If y'all ever want to see any of the old videos I did, look up Keisha Twardowski. And me and my friends from high school made a video, and our opening credits were actually that. It was, yes, it was. And it explains how ridiculously weird we were. We like dressed up as cosplayers every day after school and ran around the local parks. And we had a show called Copra. It just, if you guys want to see how weird I used to be / still am, go ahead and look up my maiden name.
I just want to point out something real quick while Nick's still here. You know, I've been looking at this red demon idol thing for years, decades, literally. And doesn't that look like Nick Tockard?
No, Nick's much handsomer.
Okay.
And thinner. And doesn't have a dwarf or whatever that is coming out of his left eye.
No. There's two thieves up there stealing the ruby.
Oh, stealing the ruby. Okay, yeah. It's been a while since
You just blew your saving throw, pal. Okay.
No, I haven't looked at the damn thing in 40 years. Do you know how long it's been since I actually played?
No, I'm sure you'll tell
40 years. Once I started writing, I mean, good grief. I was in my mid-20s, and I got tired of the players not following the script. And I go, well, I'll just...
Yeah, but the fun thing about being a DM is you can pretty much make anything happen.
That's the fun thing about being a writer.
Yeah, that's true.
I can make all kinds of things happen, and my characters have to follow the script.
I had a DM once. It was a friend of ours. Not a great DM. Love him to death. Horrible DM. He actually made us run around a tree for an hour straight just to meet each other. Like, we would play for like 6 to 8 whatever hours straight. And one night, like, I would roll, I would miss. We ran around in a circle around an imaginary tree for an hour before we were able to meet. At some point, and if I was DMing, I would have just been like, you guys accidentally bumped into each other. Go. Just go. But no, he actually made us run around a tree for an hour because apparently we were making really bad throws that night. I bought new dice after that.
Sometimes the dice are cold, sometimes the dice are hot. Sometimes they're so good you put them in a box and you try not to ever use them again unless it's an emergency. And you hope they're still hot.
Yeah, I'm a dice hoard. I have so many sets of dice that I probably could use less. But I keep buying more. It's a problem.
I've got a habit of I will try and buy a new set every time I go to a sci-fi convention. And I've literally got boxes of dice that I've never opened.
Hey, if you ever want to get rid of your dice, there's somebody in Illinois that would gladly take them.
I'll try and do that, Nick. I'll try and
What is this get rid of dice thing you speak of?
I'm hopeful, okay? there's a bunch of sites that I keep going on, and they're nothing but dice, and I'm like, I need this one and this one, but it costs money, and I don't have that.
You know, it's funny. I went to Ingles grocery store today, and I was walking up one of the aisles, and just right there, you know, had these things that hang off the front of the counter or the shelves as you're walking down the aisles, with all sorts of little card things stacked on it. And it was this set of 16 six-sided dice, white, red, green, and blue. And I was like, no, I've got enough six-sided dice. I don't know. I don't have any blue ones.
Yeah, well, if you're going to play AC/DC, that's a good set to have. And yes, I did learn that by reading submarine novels from World War II, and oh my God, all those war stories, and I still can't figure out how to use them. And I don't even have any personal ones like John. He actually served. I was just too young,
Army
too young
doesn't
for
really play
Vietnam,
AC/DC.
and too old for everything since.
Army was either poker or spades, one or the other.
Maybe AC/DC was something for submariners. So,
and to give you an example of how prevalent spades is in the U.S. Army, if you don't bid enough, they call it sandbagging. That's how prevalent the military is to the game of spades.
I had some friends that had introduced me to Gin Rummy, and I wound up winning a lot, but it's because I didn't know how to play.
I gotta head out before I get distracted again.
Yes, and we are good.
I could talk to you guys. You guys are.
Yes, we are.
Well,
and
you
we're
guys
even more dangerous in person. So if you come to a Hallowcon or a LibertyCon and we're there,
I'm never going home, am I?
You will be supremely distracted.
Did you know that Chattanooga makes its own designer whiskey?
I did not. That sounds delicious.
Whiskey, that's something I didn't know either.
It was nice talking to you too, Nick. In the comments.
Good night,
all right,
dear.
guys. Good night. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you very much for being here.
You guys, sweet dreams.
Good night, Keisha. Nice meeting you, by the way. So.
I think I've I don't know if I met you, but I've watched you a bunch, so I feel like I know you. So because I always watch the show.
It's that chiseled jaw and that sculpted chest.
I'm watching you. Remember that. Actually, I'm not super stalkery, but I do write poetry about it. So.
Now I'm intrigued.
I look forward to reading the Ballad of John Scarborough sometime.
No, it's not about him. I don't think so. Unless I knew you about 20 years ago. So.
Well, I was alive 20 years ago, so it's a possibility.
I didn't kick her out. She left on her own.
Okay.
Before our heads got too big. Oh, John, this has been a really successful show. Let me tell you, this has been one of the finer ones.
We need to get more people on these shows because apparently it's easier to get people on the show than it is to get people to watch the show.
So. Well, and I do have. I've looked at the statistics. I do have people watch the reruns on YouTube, and it's really nice to actually see some people show up. So yeah, we're both clicking the thing.
You know, I do that to Joe all the time. I got in the habit of just you do it.
Yeah, well, you know, the only reason I don't have a full screen is so I can see the comments. So I can just see the next time Nick shows up, you're going to have some words. Oh,
you know me better than that. I don't get upset.
I didn't say they would be unkind words. You're probably going to script some stuff out. No, if Nick comes on, we lose a viewer. Okay.
Good point.
Yeah, we kind of saw that in Stupid O'Clock. We had 12 viewers, and then we had 8 or 10 people in the room, and dropped to 4. So 4 viewers. So yeah, everybody that was watching decided to get in on the action. You know, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm never going to complain about that. The more people that we have in the conversation, the better.
I am going to bow out. Hey Nick, if you want to get in here, get in here. I'm going to bow out because I've got to wake up, and if it doesn't rain on me, and I hope it doesn't, I got to clean a deck tomorrow. Sorry.
Well, Lindsay wants to go get her haircut, and we've got to do grocery shopping. And that's about my full schedule for tomorrow because it's supposed to be raining and I can't mow the yard. I was going to try and mow the yard today, but the weather report said 68% chance of rain, and I'm going,
really?
It never rained.
I mowed ours Friday afternoon, and when I started mowing, it was 82 degrees. When I got done, it was 85. So, you know.
Well, I'd be on the 0 turn, so I'd be creating my own breeze. But I stir up enough dust where I got to take a shower once I get off the mower because I'm like. And then
after I did that, I was cooking up a storm yesterday. I did the bean salad I told you about earlier that morning.
Yeah.
But I also did I fried the catfish. I made hush puppies, and I fried some chicken. And then by the time I got done that evening with everything I'd done, I was so tired I couldn't eat any of the food I'd cooked.
That is a blessed shame right there. You put so much work into it, and by the time you get doing everything else, you can't eat.
Well, to be honest, I was eating as I went, so I didn't eat.
That's a hazard of actually being a good cook.
And then Jeff Stringer got on Facebook yesterday, told me he was going to that Militarius show down there at Camp Jordan. So I woke up this morning, I put some air in my tires, washed my truck, took a shower, and went on down that Militarius show to meet with him. So we walked around and looked at old muskets and bayonets and Civil War uniforms and musket balls and every other darn thing. And we finally found a couple things he liked. The guy that had the ammo was asking too much for it.
Naturally.
The guy that had the grenade launcher adapter was asking way too much for it. He wanted was $155 for something I can get online for $40.
Yeah, he thought he knew what he had, but he didn't.
And the one he had was worn out. I mean, it didn't have any paint on it or anything. And I'm like,
this is definitely a case of one born every minute.
No, he just thought he could get it. And I'm like, nah.
That's what I'm saying. He was looking for a sucker.
It's just one, everything they had was close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I watched several videos about broom handle Mausers today.
Really?
Because I used to have one, but it got stolen in a burglary. And I'm going, damn, I did not pay enough for that when I bought it in the pawn shop, because it's definitely the one I had is worth a whole lot more than what I paid for it.
Depends on who made it. Yeah.
No, it was definitely authentic. It just did not have matching serial numbers on the innards, so that it apparently it had gone through China after being made in Germany. So it had been reassembled with the slide and the frame having different serial numbers and things like that. So it was. I wish that it had never been stolen, because obviously I got it at a bargain price, and it was not some kind of collectible. It was actually shootable. So,
I think there's still a company out there making those things.
I wouldn't mind having a brand new one, but I don't want to pay $1,200 for something that I just want to target shoot with. And that's the only reason I would buy a gun, is so I can target shoot with it. I'm not into throwing a year's pay into something that's a collectible that nobody's ever going to get any benefit out of until after I die and it gets sold to a museum. I want to be able to go out and punch holes in targets, tin cans or paper or whatever. But for me, the fun of having a firearm is to go out and practice and actually develop more skill with the different things that I've got to shoot. I've got a couple of 22s that need to be taken to the shop, because if you put a magazine in them and rack the slide back and let it go, they fire without any finger on the trigger. They are definitely unsafe. And I'd love to have that repaired, but I don't know what kind of shop around here would do anything like that. I put them away. I came within 4 inches of putting a bullet through my foot. First time I ever racked a slide on one of these buggers. And that scared me enough to where I packed it back up and put it in the closet. It's a perfectly good gun, except something is wrong with the safety and the trigger. It's based on a Ruger design, so it should be easy to fix. But,
Luger.
Ruger.
Luger with an L.
No, Ruger with an R.
Are we talking about the broom-handled Mausers?
No, I'm talking about a 22 based on Rugers. The broom-handled Mauser, I never had a problem with that sucker. Not a bit. 7.63 would hit a bullseye at 30 yards if I remembered that don't use the tip of the sight, take it down a little bit to the middle.
Yeah, you're going to have trouble. I can't find anybody making a copy of those anymore.
Somebody will one of these days.
And the cheapest one I can find is almost $4,000.
Yep. I paid $450 for the one that I had that got stolen.
Apparently somebody forgot to put a 0 on that price tag. So.
No, it was pawn shop. A good pawn shop deal. But it was in the late 1980s. So things have gotten more expensive since then.
I did see something interesting, because they don't make them anymore, but you can get other Ruger makes a different version of it. Mm-hmm. But one of the guys there had a Marlin 9mm carbine.
Ooh.
Take Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol magazines. I've got one. I've got one, and I thought it was nice. They call it a camp carbine.
Yeah.
And they made 2 versions. One was 45 caliber and took the 911 Colt magazines, standard 45. And then the other one was the 9mm version that took the Smith & Wesson mags. And I had read an article back in high school, it tells you how old these guns are, about how it was a good gun for poor man's sheriff's department.
Mm-hmm.
That if you couldn't afford like an AR-15 or something like that as a long-range weapon in your squad car, that you could get the Smith & Wesson 9mm and then get the Marlin 9mm carbine and put a nice little scope on it. And you could have your duty pistol would be 9mm, and your rifle that you were carrying with you in the trunk of your car would also be 9mm, but it would give you some reach out and touch somebody firepower.
Yep.
With the same ammo and mags.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to buy a bunch of different mags and ammo.
Well, that is always a useful thing, really.
And I'd read that a long time ago. So when I got a chance to buy one, I just happened to have a Smith & Wesson 9mm at the time. Still do. And I bought a 9mm carbine. And it's kind of funny. My mom married this guy. He's got one too. So now we got two of them running around the house. So.
I hope they play nicely together.
No, we had to keep them separated. Mine's in my room, his in his room. Actually, no, now that I think about it, mine's there, his is there. So they're like only 3 feet apart.
Well, if they ever get together, they might make you a few little Lugers or something.
It's a snub nose. It's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here and go to bed. Dan,
all right.
I will
You
see
too.
y'all when I see you. Bye.
You too. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'd like to thank anybody that's been watching and had to leave or is watching on the reruns. This is a labor of love. All of it is. And I'm hoping fun has been had by everybody concerned, whether you were here live or here watching later on in the archives. And from that, I believe I can switch on down here and find the end credits, which are now infamous. So enjoy and good night. And then I have a total fantasy story in the works that is about 2/3 finished. And once I finish both of those, they'll probably wind up showing up through Three Ravens Publishing. And then I will be free to dip into more of the Marinebrium Spaceport Bar stuff. And I have at least 2 different steampunk stories going in 2 different universes. And I have some fanfic online because, okay, this hurts, but I actually asked the publisher, and I was very, very kindly told that the rights holder, the estate of a deceased writer whom I extremely respect and do it, so totally enjoy his work. I had written a story which combined my own universe with his universe, but his estate had asked that no more books be published in his formerly shared universe. So I'm just going to have to leave it online for people to read for free, and I won't ask a dime for it. The links can be had for the asking. I'm not going to post it here because that would be advertising, and I might get in trouble. But as long as I don't try and make any money off of it and proclaim it to be fanfic, it should be ignored by that particular publisher. It's all right. It's all right. It's a damn fine story. And then again, I have some other stuff that I am working on and have been working on for many, many years that I have been trying to become a better writer before I actually try and finalize any versions of it, which I think I have managed to leap that hurdle now. I'm much better than I was back in the day when I first started this stuff. So stay tuned, and hopefully I will keep you entertained with my written work. And if you really care about the music that underlies the beginning titles and the end titles of this show, I do have 9 albums available on Bandcamp, and they are under, let's see, I think it's danhallowfield.bandcamp.com, and it's free to listen to. And if you feel like buying stuff, that's fine. If you don't feel like buying stuff, that's fine too. It's still free to listen to. Bandcamp does kind of beg you to buy something after you've listened to about 3 songs, 3 to 5. I think it depends on exactly the length of the piece and whose it is. But you are more than welcome to either contribute to in some small way to my upcoming retirement, or just, hey, take a listen, see whether or not it's anything that you're interested in. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. If you do like it, thank you. And I believe I about rambled on enough for right now tonight. So we are going to hit the end broadcast button. And in closing, thank you very much. You're on your own. Good night.